Hi pilots and co-pilots, Brian here. Today, as you can see, we're sitting outside a WestJet 737. It's the default 737 of X-Plane 11 with the Zibo mod available for free on xplane.org. Links in my notes below the video. And I'm super excited because I'm using the AudiobirdXP release of the freeware sound pack for this same aircraft. And Zibo and the AudiobirdXP are working together to integrate the sound and the extra FMC and plane functionality. And I've been trying to make a video over the last 4 or 5 nights with the two integrated together, but a few issues, but mainly it's just been too much fun and then I actually forget to get the recording done. So this is attempt number 4 or 5. So come with me for the flight. We're at KSFO today, San Francisco. We're doing an actual WestJet flight, which is flight 1777, which flies up to Vancouver, CYVR. So we're going to be flying that today. The first day I did this, the other day the skies are blue, the scenery looked amazing, but using real world weather it looks a little closed in today, so I think I'll stick with real world weather, but we'll see. I'll show you the map right now and what the route will be doing and how that tracks up the country and some info on sim brief, and then we'll get into the cockpit and get it dialed up as quickly as possible. Now I am super excited about the sound today, so I might be making a bit of a fuss about that and there'll be lots of oohing and ahhing about that. So anyway, let's go and have a look at the flight plan. So this is the flight plan that SimBrief has generated. Information: we're going to be flying at 34,000 feet. We have a route here that's been verified and does look very much like the one that WestJet themselves use. We're heading up over Seattle and then up to CYVR. If I look at this on SkyVector, I've put it in there. And you can see we literally do. We come off straight up, and if I remember this correctly from when I tried this the other day, we practically follow the highway for hundreds of kilometers. It's almost as if we're using their maps. Right, we're taking a turn over Portland there, and then we're heading up over SEA, so Seattle. We come around, bit of a dogleg round at the end to come in on, I think we're coming on runway 28 right. So you have to you head towards Vancouver because the airport's lined up, the runway's lined up in that direction. You kind of swing around and back again. So we'll get that programmed in and see if that looks right on the route page, and we'll get flying. So here we are in the plane with the new sounds running as well. So you're going to hear new sounds in the background, and it does sound super realistic. And it's very easy to set up. I might do a video and show you how to get that up and running. The first thing I'm actually going to do here is get rid of my yoke. As interesting as that is, it does kind of get in my way. Right, second thing, let's get us some power. See, that sounded good. Stand by. Right, next thing, very important. Actually, I want to see the time on this, so we're going to do get our IRSs aligning. They're on fast, so they'll only take a minute this time. You can choose that in the settings now. Zibo's added a mod for that. You can choose real worlds, fast or instant or something like that. So I'm having it happen a little faster so I can get up and in the air. I need to turn power on for cabin utilities and passenger seats. Now actually I can come down here. You know what? I'm going to look at extras. F-mod sounds. These are on passengers onboarding and chatter, crew announcements, busy airport, and gyros on. Okay. I am going to start my APU. Even that sounds different, and it's all awesome. Okay, and then I'm going to get the route programmed in. Position in it. Okay. My 2 GPSs are already. I picked the left one. They both match. And I am going to use that one. Menu. Oops. FMC. Position in it. Paste that there. Done. Reference KSFO. O. Route KSFO to CYVR. Okay. Flight plan. Now I'm going to bring this up on my other screen. You won't be able to see this particular bit. Let me just bring my flight plan up. 2 seconds, people. There we go. I have my flight plan on my other screen. So we're taking off 28 right. So I'm going to get that in first. I'm going to say departing KSFO. We're going to take off 28 right. And we're going for the Drucken 2 SID. And our transition is deadhead. Execute. Okay. If we go back to route, flight plan, next page, dead to deadhead. Okay, then we're going to be direct to BTG. So it says DCT space BTG, so DCT means direct. So I don't have to put anything on the left hand side here, so we just do BTG. Put in there, and it knows how to put direct in there. We could do exec, don't need to do that every time. Then we're going on J1 to SEA. J1's like one of the high altitude jetways. J1, and it'll say continuity area here, right? And to SEA. Then we want to go direct to PAE. But PAE, I think, is a transition into the approach, the star for CYVR. So, you know what? I'm going to try do exec there first. Then go departures and arrivals. Arrival. We're going to go, we want to do, oh look at that, it's one of the stars here, so we want to do 26 left. Transition, METO or PAE? PAE, please, and ILS. Let's see what that brings us. Any discontinuities? Yes. Let's join those together. Vectors. I don't want vectors actually. So if I connect that. How about if I connect that to there? It gets us all the way down. And let's have a look at this on the map. So what we do here, let's cancel that for a minute. Let's go to, switch this thing around here. Let me just zoom in so you can see this. For those of you that don't know, you can choose different views on the map. You can just see it below. Approach, VOR, map, plan. So we do plan there. Now the magic is if I actually swing down to this, swing up a bit so I can just see the two. You can see that this button here on the FMC has changed to step. So I can now step through my route and see if it makes sense. You know what I said about that little dog leg kind of jumps back to the right and then back round? Look, that's what's happening here to try and get us in towards the runway. Up, round, down. Yep, so we'll see. I think we'll be alright. So we'll turn that back to map. One thing I haven't done, and I haven't taken care of, you can hear all the passengers loading in there. Checking our fuel. Now, according to my information for the plane, Our estimated weight is about 158,000 pounds. So with 19.7 fuel, so that comes down to that'll do us. And our payload total brings us up to 157. Let's say that. Okay, a little bit over. Done. Boom. Apply changes. Okay, we're back in the plane. We have the fuel on board there, I can see. So let's get the plane ready. Okay, we had got the APU started, but I didn't actually switch that on. That was dumb of me. Batteries were going flat. Let's put the APU generator up, back bus. Okay, we need that down. Our flying altitude is going to be 34,000. Okay, the rest I can do in a minute. Let's go back to the FMC right now. Okay, init ref. Make those are great, right? So we're going to be doing FL340. Reserves of 1. And our cost index is 5. Okay, TC OAT is top of climb, outside air temperature. I do have this way down on the chart here. I can see right down the bottom. Top of climb looks like it's going to be about minus 43 Celsius. So minus 43 C. Okay, we're going to derate. Flaps 5 for takeoff. And that gives us some pretty high takeoff speeds, but that's to be expected with a derated engine, as far as I understand when I read up on these things. Sorry, I've got some back pains at the moment. I don't mean to wince on the recording. No, I don't know any details about the airport. Init ref. Index. I think everything's set. Let's look at legs. I haven't had any complaints that it can't maintain altitude, can't do any of the climbs. It's got the speed in there, that's going to be correct. I did try recording this the other day, but there was a bug in one of the releases from Zibo, and it resulted in about 6,000 feet a minute climb, and yeah, not what we wanted, so I had to cancel that flight. It was very confusing. Okay, I'm going to now turn on my fuel pumps, turn on my hydro pumps. I'll start recirculating air in a minute. Probes heat on, very important. Trim out on. Right, we're pretty much internal now. Your damper is on for when we take off. Oh, I didn't sort lights. Okay, they need to be on. Let's just put everything on right now. Okay, shall we call up ground crew and get going? I'm not sure why it's complaining about fuel. We have fuel, and I think we should have enough. What's that saying on there? Takeoff config. Yes, well, we're going to get that ready. So I'll take the brakes off. There we go. Look, the jetway's moving away. Nice. It sounds like we have lots of passengers on board. Okay, let's call up ground services and get ourselves pushed back. Where are we going? Here we are. Show ground handling. Push back straight. Okay, and I'll turn my flight directors on. I know there's something I've forgotten to do. That's tune ATIS.
San Francisco INTL information Oscar. 1500 Zulu weather. Wind 250 and 1/4. Visibility more than 10. Sky conditions 1500. Here we go.
Oh, it cut off my...
San Francisco INTL
There we go.
information Oscar. 1500 Zulu weather. Wind 250 and 1/4. Visibility more than 10. Sky conditions 1500 broken. Temperature 15. Dew point 12. Altimeter 3000. Arriving runways 28 left, 28 right. Departing runways 2.
So, altimeter's 3000. So we go up here onto this little dial here, and we look on here.
Right.
Ah, oh, he's done. Right, and we keep turning this dial 300. And then we come over here, and we do it on this side, so this one over here matches. So the pilot and co-pilot have matching information. Right. Flight directors are on. It's still complaining about fuel, but I'm pretty sure I have enough. Now it's going to... No, it's not going to stop complaining. Anyway, I know what I forgot to do on the pushback. Start the engine. But anyway, let's listen to this. Oh, and put my... There we go. Okay, now we're going to start the engine. So start the left engine first and listen. Well, it was pretty quiet. Maybe I've got to adjust the volume. Hold on. Let's just get this one started. Yeah, it was very quiet. Let's just crank it up today so we can hear the engines. That's what we're all here for. Whoa, I had my throttles way up there. Let's just hope I'm not... Oh, I am moving. Crud. That was a bad idea. Okay, let's try that again. But this time, we'll listen to the other engine. And you'll hear how awesome it is. Okay, a couple of things first. I can switch that generator on. Switch us on to generator 1. Okay, right engine. We're starting. We'll watch the N2 readout on here to get to about 20-25%. Listen to the engine. Oh, it's a bit distorted. I might have a bit loud there. There it goes. Okay, just set my auto brakes ready. Now I'm trying to get to 28 right, so bring up my map of the airport. I'm here. I'm going to basically swing around, either cut across there or head up across there, down around the back, up across the back here to 28 right, and then take off. Easy, huh? Which way do I want to swing round? Well, neither by the look of it, but let's try to the left today. Hear that? That's sound of beauty, a real engine. And this makes this 737 come alive using this new soundpack. Ooh, I just missed that. And we're just going to miss that plane, and let's pretend our wings don't exist so I don't clip that. I should probably have not got them to just push me out straight. And we're off. Pretty grey day here in San Francisco. Not the beautiful day it was the other day when I first did this flight. Okay, so we've got we're set for altimeters are set. I haven't got my flaps dialed in, but that's alright. RTO on there. My flight is programmed in and looks reasonable. We have fuel. Sure, I've got taxi lights and runway lights. Okay, so we're cutting across the runways here.
Approaching 19 right.
Okay, that's a different sound thing there. That's not part of this soundpack. That's another freeware thing I'll cover in a different video. Not sure what that was beeping about. Sure, in real life ATC would be giving us lots of information about crossing the runways and stuff. There's some breaks in the cloud, but it doesn't half look cloudy out there, doesn't it? Let's have a look from outside, shall we? So for those wondering, I use SkyMax Pro version 4.5, I think it is. No, I don't have the CYVR. One day maybe. Certainly not too bad now, SkyMax Pro. I wasn't that impressed with version 3 in X-Plane 10, but this is alright. But I use it with the NOAA plugin to provide real world weather. I don't use their whole stack of stuff. I guess I'll wait to see what Active Sky bring to X-Plane. But this is enough for me. So I don't have any other traffic stuff turned on today. I think there might be a couple of AI planes flying around. But if it's anything like my previous flights, they'll be totally insane choices. I mean, usually it's SR-71 Blackbirds. I've had one buzz me at Mach 3 before now. Must have come within about 50 foot. Sadly, I wasn't recording because that would have been an awesome video. So I'm going to get my flaps ready now. Get us up to 5 degrees of flap. We do have a lot of weight on board today. Did I turn? Okay. Put the generator on there. I got to remember to turn my APU bleeds on. It's already on generator. Okay, mostly I didn't screw up too much there. It'd be helpful if I used a checklist, wouldn't it? We dialed in at 36k on there, so VNAV won't stall. Another little tip: if you have your altitude set, and it will stop VNAV. So before now I've been trying to work out where I couldn't engage VNAV or get my climb to work. It's because I had an altitude set. But that is smart, because it means if you're being you're still on your flight plan, but ATC are controlling you about your altitude limits. They can set you to say flight, 10,000 or something. You set that on there and you're still able to use the autopilot. Oh, why thank you. That's a pretty strong wind there, look at that. It's like what, 15 knots at least. It's a grey day. I'm sorry, you're going to get some terrible views on takeoff. Should I adjust the weather? No, I'm going to do real well today. Next time you'll see more scenery. Okay, no traffic coming.
28 right.
ATC told us to go straight onto the runway, didn't they? Round we come. And
On runway 28 right.
wow, it's so misty I can't even see the rest of the airport. Right. The lights are on. Just have a final glance that I haven't screwed anything up or missed anything. Now we can put the packs back on. That's off, APU's off. That's good. Okay, and just have a quick glance around here. Those are set. I haven't got. Flight directors are both on. Altitude. Okay, right. Throttles to 40%. Oh, that was easy. Okay, right. Toga. Pulling to the left, that's interesting. I didn't think we had a crosswind, but apparently we do. Wow, we were already airborne, that was bizarre. Not sure what's going on there. Just try and get us off the ground and we'll review it in a replay. Positive rate of climb. Gears going up. Wow. Straight into the mist. One bit of flat back. Okay, we're high enough, we can now engage VNAV, I think. And we'll continue. Get rid of the flaps. And okay. Now the computer has control. So, auto brake is off, flaps 0, gear is up and locked. Climb rate doesn't seem ridiculous like the other day. We're climbing. Just have a look at legs. It's on there. We're just making a turn right now. Okay, awesome. We are totally in the clouds, aren't we? Look at that. That feels kind of cool. And the sounds are great. When you hear, you can hear that going, that sounds real. Great job on the soundpack. Absolutely, totally immersive. I love the little voiceover bits in the background you can hear. flying. Just been listening to the lovely sounds, really. I'm a bit concerned we didn't quite have enough altitude left, but I think we do to have cleared the radio masts that were ahead. It does mean... oh yeah, look at that. We did. We cleared it. Well, we obviously didn't hit it or we wouldn't be flying. But I'll just get map information up. Clouds actually do make this quite a beautiful flight out. I'll bring up on the map in a minute so you can see where we're going. So here on the Google Maps you can see us just heading out across San Francisco Bay. Oakland is just to the north of us, but we will be swinging up this way I think in a minute. I'll just check that I'm flying correctly. So yeah, we're going to be swinging around, heading north in a little bit. I think we're just trying to join up with the flight plan. I'll keep an eye on that. Truckin' 2. Remember, that was the SID we've chosen. Okay, what else can we do now? Well, we're not quite at 10,000 feet yet, but I can turn off my takeoff and landing and taxi lights. We have packs on. That's been one of my big things to forget recently. I don't remember to either turn the packs on or to put our altitude in, and all my passengers die. I've managed to kill us all on 2-3 occasions now. It's not elegant. Everything goes black, and then it goes so black that you can't see what you're doing to actually fix the situation, which means you're all dead. So we're coming up on 10,000 feet soon, so obviously we can then increase speed. And now we're turning. So let's have a look. Some pretty low cloud out there today around San Francisco. It's nice up here though. Right. So I think that was a pretty event-free takeoff really. Slight problem with crosswinds I hadn't bothered to take into account. But we got off the ground and it didn't look too shabby, did it? So I'm quite happy with that. We'll be sticking with this barometer setting until we reach 18,000 feet, in which case I'll click standard on both to set it to 2992 as default. It will come up as STD on here. Okay, it looks like we're on course with the flight plan there. Looks like what we're doing, 354. Let's just hide a heading bug in there. Yep, VNav, LNav. It's a bit of a boring way to fly this, but I guess it's pretty quite accurate to how a lot of the 737 jockeys fly their aircraft these days. Okay, so we have 741 nautical miles to go. If I just bring up that map again, you can see that we executed that turn there. Oh, that's Alameda. Ah. The only reason I know about that is I've heard about it mentioned on Mythbusters. And there's our plane. 127.0.0.1 localhost. Yep. Ground speed 217 knots. Jumping about a bit. 11,400 feet. It's probably a little delayed. We're probably actually somewhere around here. Yep, we're going to be heading up. I think we'll probably come around again and we'll be heading up here. So anyway, I'm going to pause the video so you guys will jump immediately ahead while I fly this. And I'll tune in with you again a little bit later. Yep, we're passing 12,000 feet. So we're doing 260 knots because we're above 10,000 feet. We can go faster than 250. Our climb details there. Target is 261 to get to flight level 340. And it's going to be another 54 nautical miles to top of climb, TC. And that should show on the map here. Nice. Ooh, the clouds have suddenly all disappeared. I hate it when it does that. Breaks continuity a little bit. But I can sneak a quick view outside just before I leave you. There we go. Isn't that beautiful? And you can see the Golden Gate Bridge in the distance there. San Francisco. That's the Oakland Bridge. Nice. Right. You can tune in again soon. See you soon. Welcome back. We're at about just under 32,000 feet, so we're nearly to the top of climb, and some beautiful high-level scenery up here. Oh wow, look at that. I wonder what that is. I think that's probably an SR-71 Blackbird. You're going to buzz us. Let's wait. I'll have a look on the map in a minute just to confirm it. What's this going to be? Oh, I can't see it. Is it gone? Oh no, there it is. Oh yeah, look at that. Whoa, he's got his afterburners on and everything. I wonder what speed he's doing. And he's gone. Let's have a look at the map. Yep. He's doing, yeah, he's moving. He's accelerating as well, 1200 knots nearly. Boom. I think that's over Mach 2. At least he wasn't too close. So we've got a little bump in the distance there. Let's have a look, see what that's going to be. I think I mean Mount Shasta, maybe. But anyway, you can see we're pretty much tracking the highway. Interstate 5, I guess, is that? Sorry, highway, freeway. What do you call them in the US? So I think we're going to be following this road north, way up here. Probably deviate from it about there. But we've got a long way to go, so we're just taking off. But we're at top of climb, and it will be a while before we get to Portland anyway. So I'll tune in with you again soon. Yeah, we're 800 foot from top of climb. I'm not sure if that's labelled on here. There's been some issues I've found that top of climb gets flagged way early and we're never quite there. So that's just a bug. They'll get to it. Hey, these guys are doing this modification stuff for free. They deserve all the donations and so on they get for working so hard on this. I mean, Zibo puts in a new build like every day or 2 a day. Just like a machine, that guy. And these sounds, I love it. I really feel like I'm in a noisy, proper cockpit. I can hear my engines running. Gyros are making noises. You know, when the trim's adjusting, I can hear the noise of it going round. It's brilliant. I thought we'd be going faster than this right now, but what we got on there, 0.78. I would expect it to be, which we're not at 0.78, are we? That's up there. So maybe we'll pick up speed once we reach altitude, which is about now. Yeah, we really are top of climb. Let's see if our speed picks up. Yeah, here we go. Slowly accelerating up to speed. Everything else looks okay. Our center tanks are coming down. Maybe I'll switch them off and use the side tanks in a bit. Reduce them because they're not going yet. I think I've read somewhere, I've got to research this, about you got to balance the weight in your wings and in your main fuselage as well. You don't want to lose everything in your wings, but you also don't want to keep too much there as well. Light directors on still, auto throttles on, push still, set correctly. Everything looks good. And we have 372 nautical miles till our next waypoint. So I'm going to leave you now, and we'll see you there. We're slowly making our way out. We're at 34,000 feet. For some reason we seem to be a bit over speed. I keep putting the speed brake out, which I shouldn't really do, but try and drop us down. But VNav is seeming to set the throttle pretty high and we creep up into the red zone. And we're also bouncing around pretty badly, so I'd say we've got some pretty bad air at the moment. So you know what I'm going to do? Make everybody sit down. There we go, just giving the announcements now, telling people to go sit down. Yeah, we've got a bit of turbulence up here right now. 34,000 feet. Let's have a look on the map and see where we are. Who's interested? So we're just crossing the line. We're in Oregon now, aren't we? Yep, there we go. Heading up towards Portland. So we should be coming pretty close to Mount St. Helens later on, and I'll make sure I video that as we go by. Switch back into the aircraft. Yeah, I can hear a bit of shuddering going on. We've got some pretty wicked turbulence right now. I'll be making everybody stay set down. So again, our speed's creeping up a bit higher than I would like. I'm going to keep an eye on that and see if I can find a way to solve it. But I'll tune in again soon, and you can see the next part of the flight. So actually, you just missed it. I did figure out what to do for now I have turned VNav off. I've set altitude hold at 34,000 feet and my speed is at 0.78 Mach, which is bringing us back down. That's what the flight plan for the economy cruise actually says, and our engine speed has dropped quite dramatically right now, and so hopefully that should get us back under control. So we have 34,000 feet dialed in. Although saying that, our speed seems to be dropping quite dramatically right now. Oh, maybe it'll throttle back up in a minute. There we go. Yeah, there's some funny stuff going on with speed at high altitude, so maybe there's some modelling issues in the current version of the Zibo mod. So I'm just going to keep an eye on it for the rest of the flight, keep us safe until we can come down and land. So I'll tune in again maybe when we get just past Portland and we're getting near Mount St Helens. That's always a good bit of scenery to look at. So see you soon. So here we are at 34,000 feet, somewhere above Mount St Helens, and unfortunately due to the cloud cover we cannot see a thing. Real shame. I chose to fly with real world weather today and this is what you get. And yes, there's a lot of disappointing flights up there where you don't get to see the cool things from the air, but oh well, next time. So I'm back using VNav now. Things seem pretty settled. Had a bit of bounce and bump at 34,000 feet. I'm sure if we would have been doing this for real, we would probably have requested a change in altitude and stepped up a couple of thousand feet or something to avoid it, but heck, I just left the seatbelt sign on for a long time and made people stay there. So we're making our way up to Older now, where our next waypoint after that is Egret, and that drops down to 12,000 feet, so that's where we start really doing our descent. So I'll tune in with you again then. I'm sorry we didn't get to see Mount St Helens. I have featured it in other videos I've done. I even took a flight around it once, and absolutely gorgeous scenery around there. But not going to see it from 34,000 feet today. Maybe I should do the return flight later in the week, and I'll fly from Vancouver back down to San Francisco. Maybe do an early morning flight. I wonder what WestJet do for that. Maybe an early with a sunrise over Mount St Helens. That would be a pretty cool scenario. Anyway, we'll see. Right, see you soon. So you join me again. We're actually just over the top of Seattle. Of course, the cursor of real world weather means you can't see it very well, but peeking through the clouds there, yes, you can see parts of Seattle down there. And we're about to reach top of descent. I wish we could see a little bit more. But it's a pretty cloudy day, it seems, so let's have a look on inside and see how we're doing. So we're pretty much at top of descent according to that, and 6 nautical miles to top of descent. Be interesting to see what VNav thinks. So yeah, you can't see much of the ground from up here. Gorgeous blue skies above though. Sorry, it's a bit disappointing to create a video on this one. The other day I had much better weather, but the plane wasn't cooperating. 4 nautical miles to top of descent, which about equals that. Let's see what it does. I've cranked my altitude down on here so that VNav doesn't stall. I've had this before. I left this set at 34,000 or 38,000 and couldn't work out why VNav didn't do anything. And then suddenly I cranked my altitude down and VNav responds and actually starts my descent. So there's a tip to you if you're trying to do this and strange things happen. long now? 2 miles. So not long. Our bad cloud representation. Scamax Pro doesn't get the best kind of rep out there for a weather system, but it's alright. It's certainly, you know, I think it's a little better than default. Oh, I hit engines dropping. Yep. We are descending. That's cool. I love the engine noise as well. Down we go. So what have we got here? 261 is our, I see, well, it's putting us down at 220 on there. I don't think we'll get down to that. Target speed. 250 at egret. So let's have a look at our legs left to go. Not a huge amount. We've still got 60 odd miles left in this waypoint to the next waypoint. Anyway, we're descending now. Look at this, some funny sparklies going on there. Not sure what that reflection of something, maybe. Don't know. Anyway, we're descending. I'm going to keep monitoring it, and I'll tune in with you in a little while. So you join me as we're at 1.7 minutes out from egret.
Altimeter settings.
Yeah, altimeter settings, they are wrong. Let's see if I can get to CYVR. I'm going to cheat a bit. Details. I'm not using the ATIS right now. 2986. Okay. Six. Let's come across to this one. I should set up a shortcut key for this. Okay. We're going into the clouds, really. Egret. If so I think we're going to swing over in just a minute. We're not going to quite make our altitude target there of 12,000, which is a shame. I did walk away from my PC for 2 minutes and came back and it said drag required, so obviously we didn't slow down enough early enough in our descent. My bad. I wasn't sure if we'd have enough fuel for this flight, but we still have 10 tons left, so we're well loaded. I should look at some of our approach information. So I'm gonna, while we're coming down there, 15 is 159, 151 and 144. I might remember that. But that's quite a fast landing actually. Ooh, snippets of the ground coming through. Doesn't that look good? Okay, yeah. I want to just keep dialing this into the ground. I was just letting us know where I think we're 1,000 above our altitude. Let's dial that to the ground. Altitude at the airport is what? 50, about 50 feet. It's not even that. It really is sea level. So we're making our turn. Glide slope's going to be on 159. 151. Okay, so that's pretty fast. Let's see if I can figure out what to do on our approach. A lot of cloud around. So we have 3 minutes to our next waypoint. And it gets complicated. I'll see you in 3 minutes. Well, welcome to Canada. We're just crossing the border pretty much now. And over to the left we have Vancouver Island and the many other islands in the range there. You can see Galiano Island and Maine and Saturna, which are the ones around here. Okay, you know what? I'm going to make people sit down now. This is where we're going to do some swerves back and forth. And above, that's where the airport is, straight ahead there. We still have some height to lose. We're at 8,000. We've got to get down to about 6,000. I don't know why it specifically wants 6490, but anyway. It's the area around Delta and so on down there. Farmland. North Shore Mountains in the distance there. While we're doing these turns, let's have a look from the outside. Some ground level clouds there. Maybe not the best Bing scenery that I've used for my ortho, but it's the best we've got right now. I think that's Boundary Bay. We're going over there. In we come. I love the sounds. It just raw air movement, raw. Right, we're turning again. Okay, we're getting pretty near our approach now. Do we need drag? Drag required. I was going to say. That didn't look like, that doesn't look like we're losing enough speed. We're over 250 now, we're actually speeding. You know what, I'm going to put those on. I'll probably go with a couple of notches of flaps in a minute. Once we get down to about 200 or so, that will help keep the speed down. So those clouds all suddenly magically appeared. And Vancouver disappeared. Oh well. Oh, and magically the clouds all disappeared again. That's a bit awkward, the weather systems on this. Speed's coming down. Now comes another turn. Highway doesn't look too busy there. On the speed brake. Oh, we're still pretty damn fast here. gear down, that's going to slow this the hell down. I don't need my speed brakes then. Okay. Start bringing the flaps out. 3 green, come on. It's all getting pretty large and real now, we're getting near the ground. Okay. Okay, we have 3 green on gear. Apparently my machine is now slowing to an absolute crawl. It's bringing me down to 3,000 feet. Outside, if my computer will respond. Yeah, we brought gear down way too early. I'm just getting nervous. Here's the runway. Which we land on? 28 left or 28 right? Left. Left, right? Not right, right. .26 left, sorry, not 28. Takeoff. Right, so there. Landing gear is down and locked. Still on V-nav. I guess I should, once I get lined up, I can use approach, maybe. Should correct me any second now. 30 seconds. I should swing around and be in line with the runway. Wish me luck. Oh no, I don't need mist as well. Flapping clouds. Wait. Is that going to take me down correctly? Whoa. Okay, maybe I needed to dial in. we go. That's better. Okay. Forgot about tuning my radios. Okay, we need to come over slightly to the left, don't we? And we're a little below the glide slope. Okay. Actually, we'll keep our speed down to about 160. I'm going to go 15 degrees flat. And what did we say on there for that? $15 is 159. Okay, we're good on that. 30 is going to be 151. What does single channel mean? I can't remember. Is it because I don't have it set on that side or something? Oh, hell, I don't remember. What are our speeds? 151. Speed brake is armed, gear is down. Okay, we've got the auto braking set to 2. It's probably more than enough. That massive runway. My landing lights are on.
1,000.
Seatbelt sign is on. I hope nobody's up and about. 1,000 feet. I know I'm letting the computer fly me in, but I am terrified. Come on, come on, come on. Give me a Cessna any day, I think. Okay, we have 2 whites, 2 reds. The pappies show us we're on the glide slope. I'm happy. We're at 151. We're picking up. Thank you. Okay, we're going to have to go flaps 40 because I want to get a bit slower. And that'll let us come down to 144. I know I'm being cheeky letting it come all the way down, but I'm not used to this. Okay, we're landing. Okay, I'm going to disengage. Low glide slope. Oh, well, I think we'll be alright. You can tell I'm flying now because everything's going to butt. Okay, that's
50. 40.
I'm a bit long. I'm going to land long.
20. 10.
Ooh. Oh, at least there go the spoilers. Okay. I could have done reverse thrust, but I'm not going to. No, we're slowing down. We're all alive. That was pretty good, actually. That was one of my better landings. Welcome to Vancouver, everybody. take that, and then it's not really an official term, but will get us back to the terminal. Wow, we survived. Awesome. So while I clean up the aircraft and find somewhere to park, I'd just like to say thanks very much for flying with me today. I'm sorry that in reality I didn't get to see an awful lot today, but that's the breaks of flying with real world weather. I think I'm going to create a return flight heading back to San Francisco, and hopefully the weather will be better in the next couple of days, and we'll see a lot more in the way of landmarks and stuff. But yeah, I actually got us down alive. That was quite a long flight for me. I'm not used to doing that long flights. I hope the sound pack really impressed you. Go download that. Give the guy some money. It's awesome work. The whole thing just seems great. So now I'm going to try and find my way back to a terminal over here and park up. But for you guys, that's it for today. So thanks for joining me. Leave me a comment about the things I probably didn't do right. The things I should have done. Oh, look at that. I haven't put my runway turn lights on and my taxi lights. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed the flight. Subscribe or leave me a message or like the video, whatever you like to do. And watch out for new videos. I'm sure I'll be doing some more flying soon, but it's lovely summer weather, so it may be a little less than I might do at other times. Just try and get around here. And I'll see you again soon. Thanks for watching.